Hi, we're going to be doing the map Drums. Now, I've played this map once before, but the commentary that I did on the video did not have the best wording and was really hard for me to listen to, so I'm just thinking of doing this again. Just because I want this to be not as horrendous. Anyway, this is a tricky map. There's a few jumps in here that are undesirably annoying, but it is fine. So one of the topics that I was talking about was the fact that I went LARPing for the first time yesterday, which is pretty cool actually. I like LARPing now. Now, for those unfamiliar with LARPing, it's basically where you got a bunch of people, they dress up as like medieval people, warriors and stuff. You got wizards in that as well. And they all just like fight in this arena, or this like field with foam swords and stuff. Now, a lot of people will say it's very nerdy, and I agree. It is pretty nerdy. But you cannot say that it is not fun, because it just is. It's undoubtedly a great time. One of my friends, Drew, he invited me over to join him. He and his dad, they play weekly. And yeah, it's great. I guess the main reason why I wanted to do it in the first place was because I wanted to say that I've been LARPing before, because I like taking opportunities. Missing out on stuff kind of sucks. And, I mean, it was worth it. There we go. Oh, that is a very easy jump to over jump. I'm gonna make sure I don't run off this time. Well, I ran off this time. That's great. Oh my goodness. Yeah, so it panes, they're kind of slippery. I don't like them. I don't know why they're slippery. They just are. They're just so tiny. And trying to stand on them, make sure that you don't slide off, is a piece of work. For example, this one's in a bad area, because it's like, that's a long jump in terms of panes. And you have a pane up over here as well. So, what do we do in the LARPing, you may ask, or may have not asked? Well, great question if you didn't ask or did ask. Now, there were 3 rounds of people fighting, but they were all, I guess, centered around different tasks that each team had to do. For example, the first task was Team A, which is not us, had to shovel this snow from like an avalanche, while Team B just tried to stop them for no reason. I was in Team B, and that was kind of fun. I mean, we didn't manage to stop them, unfortunately, but I did get a few kills, and that's good enough. That would have helped, except yeah, everyone respawns after getting sliced, so unfortunate. I did feel like I helped out a lot in the challenge though, which was good. Now, something that was really cool about this sort of arena was that there are different objects placed around everywhere. that would make the flat field of grass more interesting. For example, you had a bunch of cones around, and those were cliffs. If you run into them, you die. But if there's green cones before the red cones, because okay, so red cones indicate a cliff, but if there's green cones, oh my god, hang on. Okay, so red cones indicate there's a cliff, and the green cones, if they're in front of the red cones, you can jump from the side with the green cones onto the other side. So it's like a one-way wall. If there's rope, you just can't pass at all. And if there are giant cones, that indicates a building. And you can't attack people through a building or see people through a building, so you just have to I guess, pretend like they're not there, even though you can see them clearly. They weren't actually like cutouts of buildings and stuff, they were just all like sports equipment, but it still worked really well. And that was quite fun actually. I do like the change up in arena. There are also respawn points which were indicated by each team's main flag. Ours being, I think it was green, the others being purple. This is tricky. The second round, there were items scattered around, whether these be barrels, sacks, or a treasure chest. They were just placed around the arena. People could go and get them, and they had to bring them back to their own little circles, or like stash points. Whoever had the most at the end of that round won. Unfortunately, we lost again. But I did manage to snag a few sacks. I mean, they took them all back because they're annoying. But I still felt like I did something. And then you had the third round, which was... there were the items again, but the main objective was for our team to move this flag around to a different building and just like prop it up. Which would have been easy, but if you're holding the flag, you only have 1 hit point. And that means if you get sliced once, you are dead, and you have to drop the flag on the floor. So that is a battle in itself. Anyway, that's pretty much all about that course and that experience. Course, I think is pretty good. It's got some hard parts to it, but overall it's nice. And LARPing, would recommend. It's just fencing with 44 homes or capture the flag. Very fun to do. I didn't have my own equipment, so I had to borrow Drew's, but that didn't really matter because they had like tons of stuff, which I think was kind of cool. The main sword I was using was like $170. It's like a $170 foam sword, which is a little ridiculous, but I mean, it was really easy to swing around. I'm also quite sore now after that. So, anyway, cool.